What's up, positive bitches? How are we doing today? If you're hearing this episode, you are meant to be here, so keep listening. On that Bitches Positive podcast, sometimes we will laugh, other times, baby girl, we're gonna cry. But we will always walk away feeling our most empowered, positive bitch self. That is positive, babe, and true connection with herself. On this podcast, we simply become who we are not so we can fully step into exactly who we came here to be. Today, we are decoding one of the biggest lies we've been told as women. Now, let me preface this by saying we've been told a lot of things as women around intimacy. Oh, don't sleep with anyone. Sleep with everyone. Be equal feminism. One of my personal favorites is from my mother. She told me, Cece, if you sleep with someone, you will grow cauliflower between your legs and you will die. That's the message I got in high school. What'd you get? We have so many mixed messages from society, from our peers, from social media, from our parents, our religion around intimacy and what we should and should not be doing with our bodies. And it's time we take our power back and actually look at with a logical mind and with our intuition tuned all the way up at intimacy. We need to understand what is actually going on. A lot of us want relationships. We want magnetic energy. We want to attract, not chase. Well, you can't do that if you're giving everyone and their father your energy, your body, your attention. Promiscuity is not your power. You are your power. Your energy, you being on your pedestal, that's your power. Your power lies in your pedestal, not in your promiscuity. We're going to decode the messages we get. We're going to understand energy transference. We're going to understand where your power truly lies and how to tap into it and how to attract rather than chase and what really makes a guy interested in you. Before we get into it, I am a certified life and energy coach. My name is Cece. If you've never been here before, welcome. Hello, how you doing? I do offer one-on-one sessions via Zoom. You can DM me on Instagram at Vibin with Cece, VIBIN with CII for more information on my packages. All the links will be in the show notes, so if you want to connect with me on Instagram and TikTok, you can do so. Also in the show notes are all the courses and workbooks that I have to offer. You can join the 21-day Breakup Glow Up Challenge if you're going through a breakup and you need help to break the obsession you have with them and refocus on you, allowing you to enter into your greatest glow up. If you're dating and you want to learn how to magnetize your energy, you can join the Pedestal Path, and that will teach you why you can't put yourself on the pedestal, how to put yourself on the pedestal, and ultimately how to upgrade your energy and tap into that magnetic energy that is truly yours. It's the perfect add-on to this podcast episode, which is for free. So you can find both of those courses in the show notes. If you want a workbook on how to call your power back, you can get the workbook, and you can also get the Divine Feminine Activation and Healing Workbook to learn more about your DF, that Divine Feminine girl. You can always listen to my high vibrational music, which is also in the show notes. And if you just poke around there, you'll find many portals to many places. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. If you're wondering why some girls always get the princess treatment, they always are in relationships, they always get the guy, but you're over here like, okay, everyone ghosts me. I can't get anyone to stay in my life. Why is this happening? How are there two different realities? Let me just explain it to you. It comes down to how you're broadcasting your energy, how you're projecting your energy, what you're doing with your energy. Now, common denominator, and you can try to disagree with me. I don't care. This is the truth. A common denominator of every single woman I've talked to that wants a relationship so bad but keeps getting ghosted, or can't get a relationship to last, or can't get them to commit their partner, is that they give too much of themselves too soon, or in general. They sleep with them right away and the guy leaves. They give all of their energy away. They try to do everything for the guy and the guy leaves. What if your power isn't in trying to prove yourself worthy? It's actually allowing the guy to pursue. Men are hunters. They're wired that way. In tribal times, who was going out and hunting the deer, the fish? Who was back picking cherries and berries? We were. We don't need to get stuck in tribal times. We've gone away from that. But we just want to have a foundational understanding that men do have a biological pull to pursue, to go after, to create that safe space for the feminine to flow through. Let's give them a chance to do so. If you want a masculine energy in your life, don't you want to make sure that that person can pursue you, can set up that safe space for you? Don't you want to see them actually walk the walk, not just talk the talk? The only way to see it, though, is to give them the space to do so instead of just giving all of yourself away right when you meet them. Why would a man show up in ways to court you when you're already courted? There's no more courting to do. There's no more courting to do. And if you think about the law of appreciation, which basically says that over time we lose appreciation for something. When you get a new car, you're so appreciative of it. You're, oh my God, my new car, I'm going to keep it so clean. A year later, that thing is trashed. When you are willing to give so much of yourself away, you're willing to be the girlfriend without being paid with the title of the girlfriend up front, that law of appreciation comes in real quick. They don't need to appreciate all of you because you're already giving them everything. They don't need to pay you with the title because you're already giving them everything. They don't need to even show up in their masculine energy because you're already showing up in the masculine energy by doing everything. If you want to be the girl who is in a relationship, who's getting not just attention, but commitment, you gotta stop giving all of yourself away. I'm gonna say this 1,000 times this episode. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule where you know someone who slept with someone on the first date and now they're married. Okay, fine. That happens to few and far between. It's not the natural rule for most people. So we're gonna follow nature. We're not going to follow the rare exceptions because there's always exceptions. We cannot talk about intimacy and dating and women without talking about feminism, because feminism is an alive entity in society and the world that we live in. I am the first person to say feminism had an amazing intention. Make the playing field a little bit more neutralized. Women didn't have the right to vote. They didn't have the right to do most things men could do. They couldn't get a divorce. So, of course, feminism has done amazing things for women and has given us rights that we deserve to have. But what happens with any movement is that the wrong people get control of the movement. And then they start to manipulate it based on their interests rather than the interests of the people that the movement was intended to help. What happened with feminism, and the reason I have a distaste for the current feminism narrative, is because it went from we need to speak up for ourselves, we have power, we deserve more rights, to in order to take down the patriarchy, we should become more like them. And that is the exact point that it starts to make literally no sense. The thing you're taking down, you're going to become more like? That's just adding fuel to the fire. Two wrongs don't make a right. What are we doing here? Feminism tells women, oh, just do what men do. Sleep with everyone. It's your right. Yeah, it's your right. That doesn't mean we should do it. It doesn't mean it's good for us. It doesn't mean that sleeping with all of these people is going to have a positive effect on us. In fact, it literally does the opposite. It does the opposite. I don't care how cold you think you are, how numb you think you are, how emotionally unavailable you think you are. Sleeping with a bunch of people only makes those emotions you think you don't have, which by the way you do, you're just running from them, only makes those emotions messier. It does. It does. I don't want to be equal to men. I want to be treated better. I feel feminism has gone too far, and it's saying that, well, women are men, so everything should just be how it was for men, but now bring it over to the women's side. No. Women and men are different entities. Stop trying to make them one thing. They're not one thing. When I think of women, I think of these incredible creatures that are so connected to nature that we actually are nature. We actually do have a natural cycle that we don't have to consciously think about. It just happens every single month, just like the moon cycles, just like the season cycle. I think about our amazing ability, even if we choose not to, even if some of us have hiccups in the process, we have some level of ability to have this connection to another realm where we can literally birth a human through our own body. Women are often more times just intuitive as well, where we have the ability of tuning into different dimensions. We are the master of the 5D, of love, of wisdom, whereas the masculine is the master of the 3D realm, of the physical world that we know. I feel like so many of us have lost touch with our natural cycles, me included. I lost my cycle for 6 months-ish. There was a side effect of a medication I was taking. And when we lose this, I feel like we're almost just doing ourselves a disservice. And that's what I feel like feminism has turned into. Become like them. Oh, if they're sleeping with everyone, get even and sleep with everyone too. Is that even working well for them? Is there a survey on that? Because I'm pretty sure trying to fulfill your emotional and mental needs by putting another human's body part into it doesn't work. Last time I checked. Yeah. Turns out filling your body with another person's body only gives you temporary relief or pleasure, and then you're back feeling the loneliness, the depression, the anxiety. Oops! Did we forget to mention that? Oh. Bippity bop. The interesting thing is intimacy, when I think about it, I'm not going to sit here and tell you intimacy is an evil thing. It's absolutely not. I would never tell you that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what my mother told me, that if you're intimate, you'll grow cauliflower between your legs and you'll die. It's not true, by the way. I found out. I'm going to tell you that intimacy is kind of like money. Money is not good. Money is not bad. Money is a neutral energy. It depends how the person's using it that will dictate if it's a positive entity or a negative one. It's the same thing with intimacy. Intimacy is not good nor bad. It depends how you're using it. You can use intimacy with a person you really love and they love you, and it can be a beautiful experience time and time again. Or you can use intimacy as a vehicle to run away from all your emotions, which only causes you to feel worse about yourself. And then it would be used as a negative entity. So intimacy is not good nor bad. It's how we use it, how we interact with it in our own life. Instead of listening to our church who just says, don't be intimate with anyone for no reason, or society that says, girl, open your legs 24/7. What if we just took a moment to decode and delve in, to truly understand what's at stake here? How is this going to affect me? Promiscuity is not your power. And this is why. When we're intimate with another person, it's like we're gluing two pieces of paper together and then we try to pull them apart. Energetically, what happens is some of your energy goes onto them and some of their energy goes onto you. If you just met someone at a bar and you go be intimate with them, do what you want, but understand this. You're going to take on some of their energy, some of their traumas, some of their thought forms, and that's going to sit with you. It's going to enter your auric field and attach itself onto you. You're never stuck, so don't worry, we can always remove these energies, but it's important that we know that. Let's say you go out to a bar and this person doesn't think highly of you. They think you're easy, or they think you're not the best, whatever it may be, and then you're intimate with them, you're now taking on those thought forms. I remember I was intimate with someone and they must have not thought the best about me, because afterwards I literally had anxiety. I had racing thoughts. I felt like I was obsessed with them, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? It was because I was holding on to their negative thoughts about me. I was holding on to their projections, their limiting beliefs, their ideas about me that weren't true and weren't mine. And it wasn't until I removed those energetic cords that I was able to come back to myself. And by the way, if you need an energetic cord removal meditation, you can join the 21-day Breakup Globe Challenge and you can get the cord removal meditation there. This process of energy transference, you have to be aware of it. I wish someone told me growing up that that's why these religions tell you not to be intimate with other people. That's why these institutions tell you this. No one tells you why. They tell you what to think, but they don't tell you how to think or why. I wish I had someone who I saw was just a girl who said, hey, this is why. It's energy transference. You're picking up on their energy. You're giving them your energy and you're doing a swap. You can always remove the energy, but why take on their energy if you don't have to? Think about it. We don't know these people. We don't know their thoughts. We don't know their traumas. We don't know what's going on with them. And then we're taking on their energy and we're effing ourselves over because of it. We're giving way too much of ourselves way too soon. And then what happens is once we are intimate with them, it's likely that we're going to start to obsess a little bit more. Why? Because we've now given some of our power to them. And what this feels like, the way you know if you've given your power away to them after you've been intimate, is you will feel like you're starting to itch. You need to know what they're doing. You need to know who they're talking to. You need to know why they're not texting you, why they're not calling. You don't miss them. You miss the energy you gave to them. Because when you're intimate, energy transference happens. You delivered some of your energy to them. You took on theirs. And now you're missing them. You're wanting them. You think you're missing them and wanting them. But really what you're missing and wanting is your power back. If you're feeling this, close your eyes. Imagine them a couple feet in front of you. And use my sacral chakra technique. Say, I lovingly and peacefully call all of my power back to me now. And see your white light energy leave their body and go back into yours, all the way down your spine to your sacral chakra. This energy vortex that's orange in color. And see this orange energy vortex grow and glow as you breathe your power back in. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. If you want more on that, you can get the Calling Your Power Back workbook. If you want a meditation, I have a free meditation on YouTube. It's in the show notes. Energy transference is why sleeping with someone, intimacy, can be dangerous for you. Because you're taking on their stuff and you're giving away your stuff. And if their stuff is lower in vibration than your stuff, you're not going to feel so good about yourself after. I've seen so many of my friends sleeping with all these people, and you think that maybe you would think this, it would somehow up-level their confidence. Oh my God, all these people are interested in me and they want me and all this stuff. No, all it did, from my perspective, was defeat them and no one would date them. I'm not saying that's true for everyone. It is the rule. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. There are some people who go on a first date and they sleep with one another right away and then they get married. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. But let's just think about the rule. Let's think about, in general, what is most likely to happen. I've seen it in my own life, time and time again. Just girls who have the best intentions of wanting a relationship or wanting something serious, and they were sleeping with all these different people in hopes that would get the person to settle with them and commit to them. It doesn't work like that. A common misbelief that we have is if I just give all of myself, if I just sleep with them, they'll commit to me. That's going to show how amazing I am, how much I want them, and they're going to want me too. This is another reason why your promiscuity is not your power. Because nowhere on planet Earth has a woman said, I gave everything to this man and he finally saw my worth and wanted to marry me or wanted to date me. Said no woman ever. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It's literally the opposite. It's the opposite. I'm going to say this and I want you to really listen up here. I've seen women chase men. I've seen women give everything to men. I've seen women do everything for men, and they still did not stay with them or fully commit. In fact, they just waited around. They just accepted them until they thought that someone else who was better came around, and then they went with that person they deemed better. It's not worth your time. So stop doing the job of a girlfriend without being paid with the title of the girlfriend, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It won't get you anywhere. The misbelief that you have to prove yourself through doing things, through giving all your energy away, through sleeping with them, that's going to get them, that's hurting you right now. And it's not true. Double whammy. What's interesting is it's literally the opposite. When men invest in women, their time, their energy, their money, it makes them want the women more. Because in their logical mind, they're saying, well, I'm giving to her, I'm investing in her, I want to see where this goes. I've given this much of my time to her, I want to see where this goes. Think about if you were to invest in a stock. The more money you invest, the more invested you're going to be. The more time you invest in anything, the more invested you're going to be. The more time you invest in creating your dream home, the more invested you're going to be in living in it and not wanting to sell it. The more a man invests in you, time, energy, not just money, but money included, the more he's going to be drawn towards you. First of all, it's a service to a man to allow a man to feel like a man. It's a service for them, for you to step into your divine feminine energy so they can step into their divine masculine energy. Now, will you always be in your feminine and them always be in their masculine? Of course not. That's completely unrealistic. Your man is going to have a bad day here and there. They're going to need to break down sometimes, and you're going to have to step into your masculine energy, and you're going to have to be there for them in those moments. Of course, because that's life. And life is not about being in your feminine energy 100% of the time. We need balance. You might have a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split, but it's about allowing yourself to be in your feminine so they can be in their masculine. When you allow them to pay for the date, when you allow them to show up for you, when you allow them to plan the date, to create the schedule, whatever it is, you allow them to be in the energy that is their core frequency. You know how good it feels to be in your feminine energy. You know how good it feels to be in your core energy. If you are in your feminine, it also allows them to be in their core energy, in their masculine. When a masculine energy invests in us, it makes them want to invest more. It makes them want to hold on to us more. I think another misbelief that we have is that it's the cool girl thing to sleep with everyone. It's the fun girl thing to sleep with everyone. And I think some of us who get into our party girl era, we kind of take on this identity and we never let go of it. It's okay to let go of that identity. I don't care who you've been. I don't care what has happened. You're allowed to decide to be someone completely new today. You're allowed to change everything about yourself. You're allowed to be intentional with your intimacy. I want you to come closer for this one. You sleeping with a bunch of people, it's the least interesting thing you can do. Everyone's doing that. Not special. Not interesting. In fact, it's quite boring. Doing the same thing and getting the same result? What is that definition? And what is that? Insanity. Right, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So many of us have the most beautiful intentions of, I want a relationship, I want to magnetize my energy, I want to be on my pedestal. But if we keep sleeping with everyone, that's doing the opposite. It's like we're kicking ourselves in the foot here. If you want a relationship, if you want to magnetize your own energy, sleeping with everyone and their father is not going to get you that. There are always exceptions to the rule. I know that, you know that. But let's think about the rule here. Let's think about the dessert principle, which we talked about in the last episode. When we give too much of ourselves away too soon, it repels that person in the opposite direction. If you have the goal of being in a relationship, I want you to reverse engineer that goal. My goal is to be in a relationship. Okay, what is the action that I should take that would most likely get me there? Is it sleeping with them right away? Is it being completely unconscious when it comes to my intimacy? Or is it being intentional with my intimacy? Or is it letting myself actually get to know this person to see if I even like them? Because if I am intimate with them, it's going to cloud my judgment, and then I'm going to fill in their silences with my desires, and then I'm going to be obsessed with them because I've given my power, and then I'm going to completely lose myself in this relationship. I don't know. What do you think is better? Sleeping with someone or a bunch of people, it doesn't make you cool. It doesn't make you interesting. It doesn't make you fun. It makes you someone who sleeps with a lot of people. And if you're enjoying that and you don't care about energy transference, I don't care what you do. Go off, live life, whatever. But if you do care about your power and magnetizing your own energy and putting yourself on a pedestal and getting a relationship, then this should matter to you. But I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to share my experiences of what I know through energy, through my own experiences, and through coaching. This is what I know to be true. There are always exceptions. I don't want to turn a blind eye to that. But for the most part, this is where we are. I've told this story before, but it bears repeating, and it's the story about the famous bag. My mom always used to tell me this story growing up, and the story goes, there was this bag that everyone wanted. Rich people, middle class people, poorer people, all different religions, all different races, all people all over the world, just everybody. Everyone wanted this bag. And my mom said, Cece, do you know why? And I said, I don't know. Was it the most beautiful? And she said, no, not any more beautiful than any other bag. I said, okay. Was it the most expensive? And she said, no, not too far off from the other bags. Pretty much the same as other designer bags. And I said, okay, well, if it's not the most beautiful, if it's not the most expensive, I don't know. Why does everyone want the bag? And she said, because not everyone could have it. When you give yourself away to a bunch of people or just to anyone in general, you still have worth. You still have value. Your value has not changed. How people perceive your value has changed 100%. I hate these corners of the internet where they're like, if you sleep with everyone, you have less value. That's a load of bull, whatever. That's not true. Your value doesn't change because you had someone's body part inside of yours. That makes no sense. Your worth doesn't change because you slept with someone. We need to grow up. Your value and your worth, baby girl, is still the same. In God's eyes, still the same. However, how you feel about yourself changes as you take on their lower vibrational energy through energy transference, and how other people perceive you changes. Why? Because if everyone can get the bag, not everyone's going to want the bag. It's not exciting. It's not interesting. However, if not everyone can have the bag, everyone's suddenly interested. It's human nature that when something is harder to get, more people want it. But when something is easy to get, people don't care because it's accessible. Think about celebrities. They're so hard to get. It's so hard to get an interview. It's so hard to talk to them. It's so hard to connect with them. So everyone wants to do it. Everyone's obsessed with celebrities. That's interesting because not everyone can have access to celebrities. Your energy is a freaking gift. It's a privilege for someone to be in your energy. Stop thinking you have to prove yourself by giving your body away in order to get them. And if you have to betray yourself and give your body to them for them to commit to you, that's not the right person for you. And I say that with my whole chest. That's not the right person for you. That's someone who's straight up using you for your body. They're using you for your physical vessel. You are a means to an end for that person if all they care about is when you're intimate with them. Is that really who you want to give your body to? Is that really who you want to give your energy to? The people who are using you to be a hole for them? I don't want to do that. No, I say ew to you. I'm not giving you me. What? So you can use me? It's not interesting to be with a bunch of people. It's not special. Everyone's doing it. And no one is feeling good about it anymore. I really don't think. We can lie to ourselves and say it's fun and it's dandy. It's not. There are other ways you can please yourself, and you don't need to involve anyone else for you. I understand you have needs. You can meet your own needs. In fact, that would actually help you so much more, so you can understand how your body actually works and what you actually like, instead of just blah, 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 blah. Word vomiting your body and intimacy to everyone. Let's reel it back in. Let's understand what we're doing. Let's stop allowing people to use us. What I want you to do is see how you feel not giving your energy, your body, your time, attention away immediately. See how you feel different. See how you feel standing in your power rather than taking on their lower vibrational energy. A question I think that is so worth asking yourself is, who is benefiting from me being intimate with this person or people? Is it me? Or is it causing me to be in a tailspin? Is it causing me to take on their negative energy? Am I benefiting if I actually want a relationship with this person? They get their cake and they get to eat it too. They don't have to give me any sort of label, and I just keep being intimate with them. If you're stuck in a cycle, you have to change something. You need to do something differently for things to be different. There's a quote, and it doesn't completely relate to this, but I think it's a funny comparison. And it says, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. I'll say it again. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So maybe this is just about a change of action. Maybe. Could it be? Could it be? I think so. If successful people in relationships, the norm, the majority, don't just sleep with that person automatically and actually get to know that person, then you have to be willing to do that, because successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. You have to be willing to change your action if you want to change your result. And again, I'm not forcing you to do this. I can't make you do this, but I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to just try something different and see what happens. See how you feel. See the different results you may get. See how your reality starts to transform towards you rather than fall apart. And then you can make your own decision about what you want to do. But there's no harm in trying something that may be really helpful and could change your whole entire life of how you're interacting with other people, how they're interacting with you. You have to be willing to do what maybe all your friends aren't doing. You have to be willing to be the person to say, actually, I'm not going to do what everyone in society is doing, sleeping with everyone, this really fast hookup culture. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what successful people in relationships do, which is maybe actually see this person, go on dates with them, not just sleep with them, understand who they are before I give them all of my energy, before I invest myself into them. What a concept. What do you fear about letting someone invest in you? Do you think you're not worthy of them investing in you? Are you afraid that if you take too much time, that they're going to abandon you? Usually when we're pushing ourselves to sleep with someone too soon and we keep getting ghosted or they keep leaving us, there's some fear there. What is it you fear that's causing you to do something maybe you don't even want to do too soon? What is causing you to move quicker, move faster than maybe you're even comfortable? What do you value? What do you want? And let's start reverse engineering what we want rather than just being like, blah, 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 blah. Just go be with everyone. And look, I've been intimate with people who I wasn't in a relationship with, and it didn't go anywhere. Literally, pretty much got ghosted. I would say it was a cosmic cancellation. It doesn't work. If it worked, I would tell you to do it. It doesn't work. So what do you want me to say? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let them invest in you if you want them. That's your power. Your power is your receptivity. It's not in giving. Your power is in you receiving the attention and knowing you're worth it. Your power is in receiving their gifts, their attention, their energy, and knowing you're worth it. Your power is being and extending that being onto them. They want to bathe in your being. That's your power. It's not doing, giving. That's actually their power, is giving. The masculine gives, the feminine receives. One belief I would love you to start to adopt is that there are plenty of fish in the deep blue sea, baby. Plenty of fish. Newsflash, there's 8 billion people out there. Maybe you're not interested in all, but let's say you're interested in half, so 4 billion people. Chances are you're going to find someone. So you don't need to sleep with the first person you see, because if it's not them, then it will be someone else. And here's the thing. What I'm interested in is, if I don't sleep with you, what's your reaction? Because that tells you a lot about their character. What are they actually after? Because if they're after, this is an amazing way to weed out people who are after the wrong things from you. If they're just after being intimate with you, and you're intimate with them, and then they ghost you, shoot. Didn't have the option to figure that out. However, if you actually create some space to actually get to know them and you aren't intimate with them right away, you'll get to see how they react, and that will tell you everything about their character. Oh, suddenly I'm not doing enough for you, and you're saying that I'm not being intimate quick enough for you, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it may be, they ghost, they're not interested. Thank God you didn't give them all of your time and energy and body, because you got to see exactly who they were. It weeds out the people who have negative or not the best intentions. Why wouldn't you use all of your possible tools to ensure the best case scenario for you? Give yourself space to see if you even like this person, and then you also get to see how they react, which will tell you a lot about their character. The interesting thing is, every time I see someone go through a breakup and they're like, it was the best person I've ever known, I'm never going to find anyone ever again, I'm going to die alone, they always find someone else. I've literally never in my life seen someone go through a breakup and then never find anyone ever again. It's not happened. No, if they wanted another relationship, they got it. So if every time someone goes through a breakup, they ended up finding someone else anyway, chances are, like I said, there's plenty of fish in the sea. And if it's not this person, it's going to be someone better. That's another beautiful belief. If it's not this person, it's going to be someone better. I also think waiting to be intimate with someone until you actually feel ready, you have an emotional connection, you know this person, that's a way to avoid dating burnout. Because right now, so many of us are meeting up with people, we're doing our hair, makeup, we're being intimate with them, then they ghost and we're like, what the F? The funny thing is, if you don't allow it, it can't happen. I was talking to one of my friends the other day. I was like, well, what if you just stopped allowing that behavior? Then it can't happen. If you stop allowing people to just get what they want and leave, it won't be able to exist in your reality. But if you keep observing the same actions and you keep letting it happen, that, baby girl, is insanity. And it's okay. We've all been in our insane era. Hello. Who cares? Let's move past it. Move on. Been there, done that, whatever. None of us are wrong for living. We've all had just so many messages and we're all just trying to do our best. It's okay. The thing with intimacy is you can also do something when you find someone that you really connect with and you really feel amazing about and you guys have an emotional connection. There's also something called energy transmutation, where literally when you reach your climax, the height of your intimacy, you can think about what it is you want to manifest. It's called the O method, I believe. You think about what you want to manifest. And from your climax, it gives it your manifestation an extra oomph of energy, which helps you manifest it. So again, the O method, what is that? It's when you're at your climax during intimacy, you think about exactly what you want to manifest, and all of that surge of energy goes towards that manifestation, and it helps you bring it into existence. That's a beautiful way to use intimacy. Intimacy is a beautiful thing to use to connect to your partner, to get to know them deeper, to have this spiritual connection. But if you know nothing about them, do you really want to take on their demons? If you know nothing about them, are you really willing to lower your vibration just because you met someone and you're bored or trying to run from your own emotions? Is it worth it to you? Maybe it is. I don't know. But I want you to have the knowledge so you can make the best decision for you. Knowledge is not just power, but having knowledge and attuning your action to that knowledge, that's where real power lies. Power is not in your promiscuity. It's not in you giving your body away too soon because you feel pressured. No, your power is in and on your pedestal. Standing on your pedestal, allowing yourself to receive, having the knowledge that if it's not this person, it will be the next. Your power is in realizing that you are your own power. That's it. That's it. And we give our power away when we're being intimate with everyone. We take on their entities, their energies when we're being intimate with everyone. And we end up getting more and more and more insecure for the most part. So what if feminism maybe lied to us a bit? What if society lied to us a bit? I mean, think about movies and how they show intimate experiences. It's really not like that. It's really not like that. It's not. It's much different in real life. So what if there are ways that we can magnetize our energy by actually standing on our pedestal rather than thinking we have to give all of ourselves away? What if we just tried this and then saw what the results are? You don't have to blindly believe me. Why don't you just experiment and see what happens? That's all I can ever ask you to do, is just be curious and try it out. See what happens with the next person you come into contact with and you're interested in. See what happens when you take space and actually require them to take action to pursue you. See what happens when you require them to show up for you time and time again. Can they show up for you? Or are they incapable? Okay, great. I didn't even sleep with them. Now I don't have to feel burnt out. Now I didn't give them my power. That helps me understand. And we're not withholding ourselves as a haha, gotcha. We're just on our pedestal. We're just taking some space to understand, who is this person? Do I actually like this person? Is this connection worth it for me to exchange energy with them? Because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm sending you so much love, positive bitches. This really is a podcast episode giving you an understanding of what's going on in the energetic realm and why we can feel so obsessed with them and why we may be getting the same results over and over and over. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a family member, a friend. And if you really loved it, if you can leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it would mean the world for me. It helps this podcast grow and it helps us reach more positive bitches. So that would be great. If not for me, do it for you, because good karma. And if you have any suggestions, you can DM me on @thatbitchespositive on Instagram and tell me what you want to hear. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.